Welcome everyone. Tonight, before you close your eyes, something extraordinary is going to happen inside your body. Something so powerful, so precise, and so necessary that without it, your brain would slowly fall apart. We are talking about sleep, and why it is far more than just rest. Here is a question to start us off. What if I told you that while you sleep, your brain actually shrinks? Not permanently, but just enough to let a special cleaning fluid wash through it, removing toxic waste that builds up during the day. If that sounds strange, stay with me. By the end of this video, you will never think about sleep the same way again. Let us begin with the basics. Every single day, your brain works incredibly hard. It processes information, controls your emotions, manages your body, and makes thousands of decisions. All of this activity creates waste, chemical byproducts that are toxic if they stay in your brain too long. Think of your brain like a busy kitchen. During the day, the chefs are cooking non-stop. Pots are boiling, ingredients are being chopped, and meals are flying out. But all of that cooking creates mess, dirty dishes, food scraps, grease on the walls. If no one ever cleaned the kitchen, it would eventually become impossible to work in. Sleep is when the cleaning crew arrives. And the way they clean is absolutely remarkable. Scientists discovered something called the glymphatic system. This is a network of tiny channels around your brain's blood vessels. During sleep, cerebrospinal fluid, a clear liquid that surrounds your brain and spinal cord, flows through these channels at a much faster rate than during the day. It flushes out harmful proteins and waste products, including a substance called amyloid beta, which is strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease. Here is the wow factor. For this cleaning system to work properly, your brain cells actually shrink by about 60% during sleep. This creates more space between the cells, allowing the fluid to flow through more easily. Your brain physically changes its size to let itself be cleaned. That is not a metaphor. That is real biology happening inside your head every night. Researchers at the University of Rochester discovered this in 2013, and the scientific world was stunned. Before this discovery, nobody fully understood why sleep was so biologically necessary. Now we know, without it, your brain accumulates toxic waste. Over time, this leads to cognitive decline, memory problems, and potentially serious neurological diseases. But the brain is only part of the story. Let us talk about what sleep does for the rest of your body. During sleep, your body enters a powerful repair mode. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your muscles relax. This gives your cardiovascular system a chance to recover from the stress of the day. Think of it like a car engine that has been running all day finally being turned off so it can cool down and be serviced. One of the most important things that happens during this time is the release of growth hormone. This hormone is produced mainly during deep sleep, and it does something incredible: it triggers the repair and growth of tissues throughout your body. Muscles that were stressed during exercise are rebuilt. Skin cells are regenerated. Bones are strengthened. Your immune system produces proteins called cytokines that fight infection and inflammation. This is why athletes who sleep more perform better. It is not just about feeling rested. Their muscles are literally being rebuilt while they sleep. Studies have shown that NBA basketball players who extended their sleep to 10 hours per night improved their sprint speed, shooting accuracy, and reaction time significantly. Sleep is not a passive recovery tool. It is an active performance enhancer. Now let us go deeper into what actually happens inside your brain during a night of sleep. Sleep is not one continuous state. It moves through several stages in cycles, each lasting roughly 90 minutes. You go through 4 to 6 of these cycles every night. The first stage is light sleep. Your body begins to relax, your heart rate slows, and your brain starts producing slower electrical waves. This is the transition between being awake and being asleep. It only lasts a few minutes. The second stage is deeper light sleep. Your body temperature drops, your eye movements stop, and your brain produces bursts of rapid electrical activity called sleep spindles. Scientists believe these spindles play a key role in consolidating memories, taking information from short-term storage and moving it into long-term memory. Think of it like transferring files from your phone's temporary storage to a permanent hard drive. The third stage is deep sleep, also called slow-wave sleep. This is the most physically restorative stage. Growth hormone is released here. The glymphatic system does most of its cleaning here. Your body does its heaviest repair work here. If you wake someone up during this stage, they will feel confused and groggy, what scientists call sleep inertia. The fourth stage is REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. This is when most dreaming occurs. Your eyes move quickly behind your closed eyelids, your brain becomes almost as active as when you are awake, but your body is essentially paralyzed. This paralysis is actually protective, it stops you from physically acting out your dreams. REM sleep is when your brain does its emotional processing. It replays experiences from the day, strips away the emotional charge from difficult memories, and helps you make sense of complex feelings. Think of REM sleep as your brain's therapist, working through your emotional experiences so you wake up feeling more balanced and clear-headed. But here is what almost no one talks about. The order and timing of these sleep stages is not random. Your body follows a precise internal clock called the circadian rhythm. This biological clock runs on roughly a 24-hour cycle and is primarily controlled by light. When your eyes detect darkness, your brain releases a hormone called melatonin, which signals to your body that it is time to sleep. In the first half of the night, your sleep cycles contain more deep sleep. In the second half, they contain more REM sleep. This means that if you cut your sleep short, even by just 1 or 2 hours, you are disproportionately losing REM sleep, which is critical for emotional regulation and memory consolidation. You are not just losing a little sleep. You are losing the most mentally valuable part of it. This has enormous implications for how we think about sleep debt. Many people believe they can catch up on sleep during the weekend. But research shows this is largely a myth. While you can recover some of the physical effects of sleep loss, the cognitive and emotional damage accumulates in ways that are not fully reversed by sleeping in on Saturday. Matthew Walker, a neuroscientist and sleep researcher at the University of California, Berkeley, has called sleep the single most effective thing we can do to reset our brain and body health each day. In his research, he found that after just one night of poor sleep, the brain's emotional center, the amygdala, becomes 60% more reactive to negative stimuli. One bad night makes you significantly more anxious, irritable, and emotionally unstable the next day. And the effects go beyond mood. Sleep deprivation impairs your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thinking, decision-making, and impulse control. Studies have shown that being awake for 17 hours straight produces cognitive impairment equivalent to a blood alcohol level of 0.5%. After 24 hours without sleep, the impairment is equivalent to being legally drunk. Yet many people in modern society treat sleep as optional. They brag about surviving on 5 or 6 hours. They wear sleep deprivation like a badge of productivity. But the science is brutally clear: there is no such thing as a person who functions optimally on less than 7 hours of sleep. What there are people who have become so chronically sleep-deprived that they have forgotten what it feels like to be truly alert. Let us also talk about what happens to your memory specifically. During the day, your hippocampus, a small, seahorse-shaped structure deep in your brain, acts like a temporary recording device. It captures new experiences and information as they happen. But its storage capacity is limited. Think of it like the inbox on your email: it can only hold so much before it gets full. During sleep, especially during those memory-consolidating sleep spindles in stage 2, the hippocampus transfers its recordings to the cortex, the outer layer of your brain, for long-term storage. This process is called memory consolidation. It is why students who sleep after studying remember significantly more than those who stay awake. It is why a good night of sleep before an exam is more valuable than an extra hour of studying at midnight. There is also something fascinating about how sleep handles creativity. During REM sleep, your brain makes connections between pieces of information that seem unrelated during waking life. It finds patterns, draws analogies, and generates novel ideas. Many famous creative breakthroughs have happened during or just after sleep. The chemist August Kekulé discovered the ring structure of benzene after dreaming of a snake eating its own tail. Paul McCartney woke up one morning with the melody of Yesterday fully formed in his mind. Sleep does not just restore your thinking, it upgrades it. So what does all of this mean for your everyday life? The answer is both simple and profound. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the foundation upon which every other health behavior rests. You can eat perfectly, exercise regularly, and manage your stress, but if you are not sleeping well, you are undermining all of it. The good news is that improving your sleep does not require expensive technology or complicated routines. The most powerful tools are free and available to everyone. Keep a consistent sleep schedule, go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This reinforces your circadian rhythm and makes it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Your body temperature needs to drop slightly to initiate sleep, so a cool room helps this process. Avoid bright screens in the hour before bed, because the blue light they emit suppresses melatonin production and tricks your brain into thinking it is still daytime. Limit caffeine after 2 in the afternoon. Caffeine blocks a chemical called adenosine, which builds up in your brain throughout the day and creates the feeling of sleepiness. When you drink coffee late in the day, you are blocking this natural sleep signal, and caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours, meaning half of that afternoon coffee is still in your system at midnight. And perhaps most importantly, change how you think about sleep. Stop seeing it as lost time. Every hour you spend sleeping is an hour your brain is cleaning itself, your muscles are rebuilding, your memories are being organized, and your emotional world is being processed and balanced. Sleep is not the absence of productivity. It is the engine that makes all productivity possible. We are living in a moment in history where science is finally giving sleep the respect it deserves. Brain imaging technology, genetic research, and large-scale population studies are all pointing to the same conclusion: sleep is the most powerful biological tool we have for maintaining health, sharpening the mind, and extending life. The next time you feel tempted to stay up late to get more done, remember the cleaning crew waiting to enter your brain. Remember the growth hormone waiting to rebuild your muscles. Remember the memory consolidation that will not happen if you cut the night short. Your body has spent millions of years of evolution perfecting this nightly restoration process. The most intelligent thing you can do is let it work. So tonight, when you finally close your eyes, know that you are not doing nothing. You are doing everything.